Hi, crafty friends. Are you guys ready for 4 easy Dollar Tree craft projects? Well, first up, I grabbed one of these bags. I just love the design on this. And I thought, let's turn this into a pillow. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut off that part. We're going to turn it inside out, and then we are going to hot glue the edges. We're going to leave a little area so that when we turn it right side out, we can stuff the pillow. Then we will close that up. And then the secret to these pillows, my friends, is clothesline. A little bit of hot glue, lay the clothesline over the top of it on that seam, and you will never know that this is hot glued underneath. Look how adorable this is. I just love it. All right, project number 2, we're going to do a riser. So you see those 2 little handles down there, kind of by where I'm dumping out all the shapes? Those are paint sticks. I had cut those off for another project and I saved them. And I thought, ooh, let's put them together so they're a little bit thicker. And then we're going to add this to the wood puzzle that I got at the Dollar Tree. And we're going to turn this into a riser. So I thought having the handle on it would be super fun, just something different. Sometimes risers are just square or rectangular or something like that. So I thought just adding this would be a lot of fun. So I'm going to trim off a little bit. It was a little bit long for what I wanted to do. So we'll trim that off with the miter box saw, and then we will make sure that it was a little bit crunchy there from where I was sewing. So I just took some sandpaper and cleaned that up, and then we will attach that. I'm also going to add some little feet onto the bottom of this, and then we're going to start painting this whole thing up. Now, I kind of wanted it to look a little bit like it was stained, so I decided to add a little bit of water to chalk paint, hoping that I could kind of get it how I wanted to look. I don't know why I left that little green triangle in there. Who knows? But I hot glued over the top of it, so you can't even tell that it's there once we flip this over. Oh my gosh, just leave it to me. Man, oh man. But anyways, like I said, I want to do a little sanding here right over that edge where we did the hot glue. Make sure there's no hot glue right there. And then we're going to get to painting. And I, again, wanted it to be more of a stained look rather than a painted look. But if you try this, you could totally do it however you want. But if you just add a little bit of water to your paint, that will give you that stain. So there's a little piece of hot glue there that I keep trying to get off there. And then I finally was like, okay, whew, got it. But we're going to get this painted up. And then I decided, oh man, wait a minute. If I do this, then, maybe I should add a little decorative element over the top of it as well. So I decided to grab out some tape once this all dried up, and then we are just going to paint a stripe on here as well. Again, just adding a little something, something. We'll do a little bit of sanding also, but sometimes just adding that little decorative element is fun to do. So like I said, once that whole base was dried up, because you don't want to put wet paint over wet paint, we're going to do the little painter's tape and go right over the top of that. But you could do like a plaid look, or you could do like a different stripe. You could do so many different things. But I just thought one would be just kind of fun to add to this. So once I do that and dry that all up, then what we're going to do is we're going to hit it with a little bit more sandpaper, just kind of around the edges, not to give it too much distressing, but just enough. I like a little distressing, so you'll always see me kind of doing that here and there. I know that it looks like I really got outside of the lines on this, but once you pull the tape, you're like, oh, look how nice that looks. I love it. All right, so here we go. We're going to do a little bit more sanding, and then, friends, you could put this anywhere in the kitchen. I mean, anywhere. And you could, if you didn't want to, you wouldn't even have to put the riser on this. You could just have like this leaning up, put a little clip on it, and maybe put recipes, lots of different things that you could do. But I just think this turned out just adorable. All right, so you ready for project 3? Okay, here's the sconce. So I found that little bubble maker and I thought, oh my gosh, I love the shape of it. That's the blue and yellow. And then I also like these emergency candles from Dollar Tree because they have that little base at the bottom, you see there, and then you stick the candle in it so it holds it upright. So I was like, we can pair all this together. So I'm just going to put these little wood craft sticks in the inside. I also took the plastic thing, the clear plastic that's laying there. That is the bottom of a wine glass, a plastic wine glass from the Dollar Tree. So we're just going to start putting all of this together so that it's kind of like a fancy looking sconce. Yeah, I know. It's probably like not technical, but why not? We're going to call it a fancy sconce. So we're just going to hot glue everything together. And then I was like, okay, what am I going to do with this candle? Because obviously I don't want it to be white. We're going to paint over the top of everything here once we get everything assembled. But look how cute this is looking. So there's the words on that. So I just kind of sanded it off, and then we will again put it on the base part. That way it'll kind of like hold it out from the frame. And then, well, I guess it's not a frame, it's a tray. Kind of looks like a frame. And then we will put it all down. And then the candle, again, I was like, I could paint it, I guess. And then I was like, oh, wait a minute. I want it to be gold because I thought that would be fun to make it stick out sitting on top of this with this kind of cream color. So what I did was I grabbed out some rub and buff and I was like, we're going to rub and buff this candle. So you can see I'm just kind of painting everything in pairs, or not in pairs, in sections. Oh, not Paris Bunny. You could totally spray paint this if you wanted to. But here's the rub and buff part. Make sure you wear your gloves, friends, because it is super duper messy. And then what I decided to do was I like this candle because it looks like almost a little flame when it's lit up. So I thought, oh, let's take the glue gun and then just make some like candle drips down it just to kind of add a little bit of fun extra to this as well. So here's me adding the little drips, and then we will add that in. Glue the candle hold part to the backdrop, and then words are hard today, guys. And then we have a really cool sconce that we could hang by our bedside or hang inside a frame on a wall. That would be super fun. But I just love the gold. So then I was like, oh, wait, hold on. I'm going to add it and add like a little bit of decor, or not decor, decoration. Man, words are hard today. And look at this. I just love it. All right. Are we ready for the next one? All right. So let's do this shelf idea. So I got a couple packs of these little wood blanks from the Dollar Tree. So I wanted them to be thicker. So I thought, oh, let's do 2. And then we ended up using 2, 4, 6, sorry, 8. I was just counting. I know. Sorry, love me through it. And then we're just going to make this into a square. Now, I also, you might have seen at the very first of this video, I grabbed one of those baking, they're not baking, they're like the grill racks. They're really flimsy. I shouldn't say flimsy, but they're easy to cut, I should say. And I was like, oh my gosh, let's put that as the back of the shelf, just to have like a decorative element back there. So they're grill pans. That's what they're called, grill pans. There we go. Got the right words. So once we get that all on there, we're going to stain this up. And I just thought, man, we could do multiples of these, like have, 2 on the bottom, put 1 on the top, or 4 of them. I mean, just having these in multiples would be cool, but even 1 by itself is super cool. So I'm going to dry brush some paint onto this. And then after I did that, I thought, okay, I want another color to the distressing. So I sanded it a little bit, and then I decided to grab out my ink pad and then just added a little bit more, because again, I like that kind of layered look when it comes to sanding. Not to sanding, distressing. Oh, friends. And look how cute this is. Follow for more.